Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Out of the Park Baseball 24 with your Chicago Cubs. It's Friday, September 18th. Your Cubs are 85 and 62 and sitting in first place in the National League Central. If that doesn't deserve a like, a subscribe, a comment, I don't know what does. So do those things. Join the Discord. Have fun. Yeah, we have fun. It's a small Discord server. There's like 60 of us, 65 of us over there. But do all that stuff. Or don't. Either is fine. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support either way. But let's get into it here, guys. So it's the 18th of September. We are 85 and 62. We're 2.5 games clear of the Reds. And it is a dogfight for not only the NL Central, but the wild card. Look at the wild card race here. 5 teams separated by 2.5 games. What? Half a game? Yeah, by 2 games. 5 teams separated by, we got a 2.5 game lead on the Reds. So 4 teams separated by 2 games, 5 teams separated by 4.5, and only 4 spots available. So one of these teams is going to be on the outside looking in, and hopefully, hopefully we can sort it out. Sorry, I get sidetracked here. Hopefully we can finish strong. It was August wasn't a great month. August wasn't even a good month. We were 14 and 15 in August. We actually fell. We played 6 games against Cincinnati, I think, in September, and we lost 5 of the 6, or in August rather, and we lost 5 of the 6. We were actually like a game and a half out of first place at one point. It was really ugly. But we've played much better here in September. Yeah, we lost 2 out of 3 here to Cincinnati, and then back in August, we got swept. So, yeah, we lost 5 out of 6 to Cincinnati in a 2-week window. We got Baltimore, Milwaukee, St. Louis, the Mets, and the Marlins to finish up the season. No injuries right now. I decided to go with a 6-man rotation down the stretch. Just because we lost somebody for a little bit. I can't remember who it was. We put Efren Contreras into the starting rotation, and he's been really good. He's given up 5 runs in 19 and a third innings. Look at his last 2 starts: 8 innings, 12 Ks, 7 and a third, 11 Ks. So we got him from Atlanta at the trade deadline. So we're going with 6 starters right now, so that we don't put a lot of they pitch less, frankly. And we don't run the risk of injuries. Offensively, we're healthy for now. So let's get to it and see how we can finish up here. First game against Baltimore at home. Kick things off with a big win, 13-2 at home. Kike 3 for 3, 3 RBIs. PCA 2 for 3, 4 RBIs. Acuna 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Bubba Thompson drives in 3. Dansby with 3 hits. PCA with a grand slam. Sogo 6 2/3. We get the win. We're still just 2.5 games up. Another game against another lefty. And that's another win. Cincinnati's staying with us, though. Cincinnati not letting us breathe here at all. Bubba Thompson reaches base 4 times. Casey Schmidt with a 3-run homer. Dansby Swanson. Dansby's picked it up. He's picked it up as of late. That average is climbing. He was, 180, 190 when he came off the DL. So he's going to end up being a 3-WAR player, which is fine. Chivili goes 4. Ultimately, I think he actually got better. His control actually got better. I was going to say, ultimately, I think his spot is the rotation, because he really only has the 2 elite pitches, and then the changeup is below average. But for this year, it's working for us. Can we sweep the Orioles? We can. 3-2 victory, and there's the end of the season injury. We lose Kike Hernandez for the rest of the season, and that's a bummer. Kike was playing really, really well for us. 60 games, he put up an 811 OPS, a 123 OPS plus, and did his Kike thing in the field. He wasn't great at second, wasn't great at short as you expect, but in the outfield he was fine. So we lose Kike for the rest of the year, and the problem with that is that the person that we would call up to replace him, the guy we picked up at the trade deadline, Braden Shoemake, is also out for the year. So that is going to do some stuff to our lineup for sure. We need to call up an infielder. Do we have an infielder that we can call up? I don't know that we have an infielder that we can even call up. Bring up McKinstry. He's eligible. I mean, he's hurt, but he's eligible. Where is he? There he is. So against righties, I guess we put Bubba Thompson in every 7th game in center field. And then McKinstry backs in Foscue play. He can play second. Foscue can back up at second. I'm fine with that. Foscue can back up at second. And then McKinstry. Not very often. Schmidt and then second base against lefties. What do we do here? Do we put Foscue out there? I mean, he's no worse defensively than Jazz is. So I think we just do that. And then McKinstry there, and then in left, Doogie. Yep. All right. So we take all 3 games from Baltimore. 2 hits, 2 runs scored for Crow Armstrong, 2 hits and an RBI for Jazz. Contreras, again, 5 innings. It's 3 straight starts of 10-plus strikeouts for Efrain Contreras. I think we got this guy for almost nothing at the deadline. 38 strikeouts in 24 innings. Did Cincinnati win again? They did. Man, they are hanging with us here. Come on. Got Milwaukee. 2-game lead over Cincinnati. We have Milwaukee and St. Louis. So we got 6 games against Milwaukee and St. Louis. I mean, 5-1 should be in the books, right? That should be something that we're aiming for here, and we pick up a 3-2 victory here. Casey Schmidt and Jazz Chisholm each hit their 25th home runs of the season. Zach Gallen pitches 7 shutout. Cincinnati loses, so that gives us a 3-game lead now. Looking for our 90th win of the year here against the Brewers. We lose 7-4. So they get in the Reds win, so they crawl back within 2 games. It's down to 1 game now. So we have St. Louis, the Mets, and Miami over our final 9. And Cincinnati has the Dodgers, Pittsburgh, and St. Louis. So they have the Dodgers who are... How are the Dodgers? Dodgers are in the playoff race. So, I mean, I would love to win the division, but those 2 teams should beat each other up here a little bit. So let's see how things go against St. Louis. It's 3 straight losses. We are now tied for first place with the Reds. All right, so we win 2-1 and 10. They win as well. Javili goes 5 shutout. Coleman blows the save, picks up his 11th win. Owen Cassie hits his 4th home run of the year. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say anything. I was going to say I think we're good from a playoff perspective, but I don't want to say that because we may not be. Look at that. You got 5 teams, 1, 2, 3, 5 teams battling for 4 positions. So final game of the series against St. Louis. Long delay here. We lose. Wow. So we are a game out of first place. We've got the Mets, and they have the Dodgers, I think, right? They got Pittsburgh. Oh, wow. They just swept Los Angeles. Oof. Okay. Are we going to finish in second place again this year? Are we going to cave at the end of the season? I don't know. Let's see how game one goes here against the Mets. Oof, big win. 91 and 66. We're tied now with the Reds. Casey Schmidt with 2 home runs and 4 runs knocked in. Dansby 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Zach Gallen doesn't pitch well but gets the win. Tied with Cincinnati. Game 2 against Kodai Senga. There's another win. We move back into first place. We clinch the playoffs, and now we are going for our first division title. Brian Abreu gets better. He's a free agent after this year. I mean, we could probably re-sign him, but not for $40 million. He could be done. He could be gone. This could be it for Mr. Abreu this season, and he's pitched really well in his 2 seasons with the Cubs. Uceta gets better. Palencia gets better. That's nice to see. Alan Chu. Still not pitching. Still not pitching. He's in A-ball. He's hitting the ball in A-ball, but he's still not pitching. Jackson Ferris. Not much going on there. Batter of the month in the AL, Jonathan Clace. I don't know which one it is. It's 47 home runs. Yanquiel Fernandez is your hitter of the month in the NL. Brandon Woodruff, your pitcher of the month in the AL. Carson Coleman wins the reliever of the month in the month of, or the pitcher of the month in the month of September. 4-1 with a 2.30 and 9 saves. Rookie of the month in the American League is Connor Cook, and in the National League, Riskiel Teneo. That's a name. And we make the playoffs for the second straight time. We have a 1-game lead over the Reds. Hopefully, the Pirates will continue to help us out here and give us a 2-game lead. See if we can sweep the Mets. We do, and Pittsburgh continues to help us. A 1-0 win in 10 innings. Only run of the game driven in by Blake Hunt. Matt Brash, 5 shutout, and then our bullpen was fantastic. All right, so we got Miami in the final 3 games, and they have St. Louis. So we could still lose the division. We could still win the division, lose the division. So let's just win some ball games here. 94 and 66 with a 7-3 victory. Trying to finish strong. Acuna 2 for 4. Verdugo with a pinch hit, 2-run something, single. Thompson, 3 hits, 3 runs scored. Dansby, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Crow Armstrong, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. The Christian Walker experiment didn't work out, but that's fine. We didn't give up much for him. So picks up his 12th victory. So it's Teneo against Shivili here as we look to clinch. If we win this, we clinch the division. And we clinch the division. Chicago Cubs win their first division title since 2016, I think. Chisholm, 3 hits and an RBI. Bubba Thompson, 2 more hits, 2 RBIs. McKinstry goes 3 for 4 with 2 runs knocked in. Shivili pitches 4 1/3. Schmidt gets the win. Coleman, his 45th save. And the final game of the 2026 regular season goes to... It's thinking. Goes to the Chicago Cubs. We finish hot. I think we won our last 6 games. We win 3-0. We score 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th on a Justin Foscue 3-run Jimmy Jack. Efrain Contreras, 6 1/3, 4 hits, 11 strikeouts. Look at that. 4 of his last 5 starts, he struck out at least 11 batters. He put up a 1.91 earned run average in 6 starts for us. Wow. All right, guys. Well, we win the division. We are without Kike for the rest of the year, which isn't ideal. let's take a look and see how our team did, and then we'll advance. So Pete Crow Armstrong, that offense picked up in his second full season. 769 OPS, 112 OPS plus, 4.9 WAR for PCA. You like to see that. Jazz Chisholm was fantastic. It's only going to be 1 year. He's going to want more money than we can give him. But 844 OPS, 4.2 WAR, 25 home runs, stole 22 bases. What does he want? He wants a 9-year contract. Sorry, Jazz, that ain't happening. Bubba Thompson, just a fantastic pickup for us. Let's go back and take a look at that on 3-3. We traded Moises Ballesteros, who looks like he's going to be a pretty good catcher. I mean, he'd be okay. Ballesteros and Raul Guzman for Bubba Thompson, who was coming off of a bad season, and Bubba was just terrific for us. Steals 50 bases, drives in 75 runs. He was terrific. Casey Schmidt, just another great year, career highs in home runs and RBIs. Really in everything. Career high in doubles. If he had played 160 games, he probably has more than 175 hits. But yeah, just another great year for Casey Schmidt. Dansby Swanson ended up as a 3-win player, even though he hit just 225. Don't care. Acuna only played 119 games this year, but still put up an 824 OPS. We got him for another 2 years after this. Drew Romo. The bat was fine. I'll take a 73 OPS. OPS plus 2.1 WAR. Just a ridiculous frame rate. He's the best defensive catcher in the league. Alex Bregman was league average. Struggled a little bit down the stretch, but still walked 86 times. I'd like to see that average a bit higher next year, but that's okay. I'll take that. Verdugo with us, 249, 323, 399. So a little bit more pop in his bat than he had in Baltimore. I mean, he was fine for what we used him for. Foscue, not great. He was our worst hitter. Just Rule 5 guy, so I wanted to keep him on the roster. Owen Cassie showed a little bit of pop, but that was about it. Pitching-wise, Shivili was our highest WAR pitcher, 126 innings, 149 Ks. He was really good after coming over from Colorado. As you would expect, most pitchers are bad in Colorado, but 4-4, 3.28, 127 ERA plus. 10.9 Ks per 9. So continues to just grow and develop. We got him for 1 more year at $1 million, and then his ARB number jumps to like 10 or something like that. Matt Brash continues to pitch well. He never pitches more than 5 innings, but if he can give us 150 innings a year at a 131, I mean, he's given us between 3 and 4 WAR each year, so absolutely no complaints out of what we're getting from him. Paddock was fine. A little bit below average. Gave up a lot of hits, 206 hits and 162 innings. Only walked 29. ERA was a little high. 0.9. It literally was just the hits, right? Because he only gave up 17 home runs and 162 innings. Not bad. Abreu was really good. Like I said, this is probably it for him with us. Clark Schmidt was really good in a middle relief role. Zach Gallen bounced back and had a nice season after coming back from injury. We talked about Contreras already. Vicinio's ERA was a bit high, but I suspect, that was really his first year with any substantial time in the big leagues. BABIP was really high at 357 as well, but 13.6 Ks per 9. He's going to be a dominant reliever here over the next couple of years. Mitch White, who we picked up literally because he was popular, ended up having a really good year for us in that long relief role. Arrighetti was not great. He was okay. He only pitched in 26 games. He's somebody who could probably be on the way out next year, although, I don't know, 38 strikeouts in 24 innings. Wisniewski was fine, 2.52 ERA. Nunez, again, not great this year from Nunez. 0.9 WAR, gave 11 home runs, which I don't like. But again, extreme ground ball. There's still growth there. And then Carson Coleman was our worst pitcher, but even he was worth 0.8 wins. 125 ERA plus. Yeah, I mean, our pitching staff is dominant. And we got I think for the postseason, Shivili comes out. I don't know who maybe Paddock. Can we go Brash, So, Contreras, and Gallon? I don't know. From a prospect perspective, Von Necker continues to hang tight with his ratings. I think next year he gets called up. Mike Hopkins actually got better, which was positive. You can see his overall and his potential got better here this past month. So that's nice to see. Burris, how'd he do in A-ball? Didn't hit well, but that's fine. How's RJ doing? Hit 269, 358, 407 in AA last year. So he'll start next season in AAA. He'll, with a possibility of being our backup fourth outfielder next year. So, all right, we have to. Has everything been decided? Has everything been decided? No. Yes, yeah, it has. Okay. So the Reds, the Diamondbacks, the Dodgers are your wild cards in the East. The Angels, the Rays, and the Tigers are in the National League and the American League. So we have to get to the beginning of the playoffs. And again, just like the last offseason, this is either going to be just a postseason if we're able to win it all, or it will be I saw Meyer and worried that it was RJ. Or it will be a longer episode that takes us into the off season. So keep our fingers crossed and hope that we just do the off season here. Eligible for playoff roster is okay. I was gonna say is Contreras on there. He is. All right, who's not? They took So off the roster. This game is silly sometimes. All right. So Shivili comes out, So goes back in. I mean, do we really go with a 4-man rotation and take Paddock out? Kind of feel like we do. Gallon, I think Gallon starts. Then we do that. I think we go Gallon, So, Brash, Contreras here for the postseason. We'll bring in Shivili as a stopper. Coleman in the 8. Well, we're going to bump everybody down an inning here. High leverage. He'll be long relief. Nobody's tired, so let's come in here and just set these to never because we're going to run with the same lineups for every game. I mean, the issue will be if either Schmidt or Swanson gets hurt because we don't really have anybody to play shortstop or third base right now. So we have to keep our fingers crossed those guys can stay healthy through the postseason. If one of them gets hurt, Chisholm becomes that shortstop / third baseman, I guess. And Bregman can do it too if we have to. All right, we'll be all right. Let's go to the next playoff round. We'll be taking on either Arizona or the Reds. My guess is it'll be the Reds, and they've dominated us this year, so we'll see what happens. Tampa and the Yankees take a 1-0 lead in the American League. The Reds and the Rockies take leads in the National League. The Rays advance. And we're taking on Cincinnati, because of course we are. So let's take a look at the Cincinnati Reds. Finished 94-68 on the season, third best offense in the National League, sixth best in terms of runs against. Ellie De La Cruz hit 40 home runs for them. Andy Pages hit 35 home runs for them. Noelvi Marte, 281, 2370. Look at how they score a lot of runs, man. More runs than us, that's for sure. Edwin Arroyo, 23 home runs. Nick Lodolo is their ace. They've got Hunter Green. Looks like they're going to be starting Junis and Legumina here in their first 2 games just because they already pitched Lodolo and Green to get to that point. So let's get to it. What do you mean Chicago doesn't have a starter for their series? Oh, we're going with Gallon. Let's get to it. So yeah, they were 9-4 against us this year. We were 5th in runs scored, 3rd in runs against. They were 3rd in runs scored, 6th in runs against. Game 1, Jacob Junis against Zach Gallen goes to the Cincinnati Reds. They beat us 8-5. Encarnacion Strand, 2 home runs. Pages with a grand slam. Chisholm has a good game. Bregman has a good game. Gallen gives up a lot of runs. All right. So game 2 will be Nick Lodolo against Hyung Jun So. Series is tied at 1. There we go. And 9-0 shellacking in game 2. Pete Crow Armstrong 3 for 3, 5 runs knocked in. We get 2 from PCA. Foscue homers, Swanson homers, Sogo 6 shutout. We're going to need to win 1 out of these 2 in Cincinnati, though. Brash on the mound for us in game 3, followed by Contreras in game 4. So it'll be Brash against Lodolo here in game 3. It goes to the Cubs. We win 10-9 in 13 innings. Owen Cassie, of course. And it's pending. Of course it is. The one player I couldn't afford to lose, and we lose him. So Cassie comes in and plays shortstop, I guess. Good for him. He goes 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. Verdugo has a couple hits. Schmidt has 3 hits. Acuna, Walker each with 2. Romo with 2 hits. Brash only gives up 1 run. Our bullpen doesn't pitch well, but we are able to take home field advantage, so to speak, back from Cincinnati. Game 4 is Efren Contreras against Hunter Green. And we win 3-1. Owen Cassie wins the American League Division Series playoff MVP, going 3 for 4 with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. Contreras has been a revelation. 7 innings of shutout ball. Acuna and Bubba Thompson homers twice. Okay, so he has a finger blister. Okay, so he can play. All right. We advance. We get by the Reds. So on to the championship series. We got the international showcase coming up here. Let's look at internationals. Let's do that before we advance. All right, so we got Gioacchino Dalsoglio. That's a name. And that being said, he's also awesome, and the demand is only 800. So we will invite him. Not a lot of great pitching. In fact, he's the only one I'm going to invite. Batters. Definitely have some offensive talent here. Alfredo Jesus Melendez. We'll invite him. Raytana. We'll invite him. Cornejo has the high work ethic, and he only wants $230K. Oof. Coronado looks like a decent bat. He wants 3.4. I'm good there. That's fine. So let's now go to... I mean, I know I can invite more, but the reality is that a lot of those players didn't look particularly good, so we'll just do that. Yeah, I'm hoping league interest on Dalsoglio stays. I don't understand this. Why does OSA have him rated as a... Hopefully we can use that to our advantage. I mean, if we can come out of this with Melendrez and Dalsoglio, I would be incredibly happy with that. All right, we got the Braves now in the NLCS. We're going to have to start thinking about a new scout. Nakamura's getting up there in age a little bit. Let's look at Atlanta. They won. We got to do it this way. Finished 93-69 this season. 6th best offense, 1st best in terms of runs against. Offensively, yeah, they're challenged. Matt Olson looks pretty good still. Austin Riley, Michael. I mean, their top three isn't bad. Ended up with Nelson Velasquez, who, I mean, he was okay. 252, 295, 422 after we traded him. Yeah, their top three is okay, but beyond that, and Grissom looks all right too. Pitching wise, Alex Ayala, Fried, Strider. Yeah, they got a good pitching staff. All right. So we're sending Zach Gallen to the mound against Alex Ayala Jr. at home, and it goes to the Cubs. We win 5-1. Bubba Thompson, 2 for 4, 5 runs knocked in, hits his third and fourth home runs of the postseason. Gallen goes 4 2/3 shutout. Vinicio comes in, gives up a run. Nunez pitches 3 shutout. We take game 1. Game 2 will be Max Fried against the youngster So. Series is tied at 1. We lose 4-3. He scored 3 runs in the fourth. Grissom with 3 RBIs. Bubba Thompson with another home run. Christian Walker's hit 3 solo home runs in the postseason. So again, we're going to have to win a road game in order to advance to the World Series. Game 3 is in Atlanta. It'll be Spencer Strider against Matt Brash. Braves lead 2-1. They beat us 5-4. We scored 4 in the fourth. Vinicio again. He struggles. All right. So we're down 2-1. We got Contreras on the mound today against Porter Hodge. And they're up 3-1. Oh, it looks like this could be the end of things for us, guys. Chisholm homers, but we got to win 3 straight games. It starts with Zach Gallen on the mound today. We win game 5, 8-5. So Gallen picks up the win. He goes 5. And home runs from Acuna and Foscue. So we've got 2 games at home to advance to the World Series. But we got to go through Max Fried and Spencer Strider to get there. We've got So on the mound today in game 6. And we lose the series 4-2. So back-to-back trips to the NLCS result in losses by your Chicago Cubs. We lost in 7 games last year. We lose in 6 this year. So it's the Rangers and the Braves in the World Series. I'm not terribly disappointed. Back-to-back National League Championship Series trips are not bad. We just got to find a way to get over that hump. I want to get into international, run practice. Great. So league interest is staying low on Dalso Glio. We'll just call him Baby Bull. It says he's listed as a bullpen guy, but he's got 55 stamina. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what the scouting ends up as. Melendrez, is going to end up with very high. But if league interest stays low here, we can probably offer him $500K and then offer everything else to Melendrez. That's sort of the plan, I think. All right, let's get to the postseason. It's going to be another long episode for you folks. We should have a little bit of money to spend next year. I don't know what the free agent situation looks like, but we should have some money to spend. All right, finish with a 599 score. Season goals. He's good with my performance. New budget, $210 million. Yeah, that gives us some money. Let's bump this to 33. Let's bump it to 33.25. Let's bump this to 25. Let's bump this to 30. And that number's going the way we want it. I don't think we have any decisions to make from a salary perspective. Nope. Top prospects. Von Necker is the number 9 prospect in the game right now. Minor league systems. The Cubs are 6th. Necker, Hawkins, and Catano. Anything else we need to do from an email perspective? No, a lot of people fired. A lot of people quit. We don't need to hire anybody. Nope. I mean, that's not great. Maybe I think maybe we move on from. I mean, I hate to say goodbye to Knapp, but I think that's what we do here. Knapp and Harris, because they're not great. I mean, yeah, he's not great at teaching stuff. Staff cohesion. Yeah, we need coaches who work well with personable. So we're gonna go ahead and fire Mike Napoli, and we're gonna go ahead and fire Willie Harris. So let's find ourselves some bench coaches that get along well with personable players. They need to be good at coaching first and foremost, but preferred bench coach. All right, so we got Mike Calitri. He struggles with personable. That's not good. Eric Young struggles with personable. Jose Hernandez. Jason Lane. Works well. Here you go. Works well with personable. He's excellent. Okay, so he can be catching and outfield, I guess. Oh, wait. No, I'm doing this wrong. Base coach. This is what we wanted to see. Ron Davenport struggles with personable. Eklund. Here we go. Pascual Matos is good at catching and teaching infield. So we'll make him a first base coach. So we need someone who can teach outfield and running. Excellent and good. I guess we go Dominique. No, not Dominique. Was it Davenport? Oh, is this guy, Kevin Johnson. Make him our third base coach. All right, that should also improve staff cohesion. Now it's time to look at ARB. All right, so we got Abreu and Chisholm. What does Jazz want? Yep, we'll offer him qualifying offer. What does Abreu want? Wow. Okay. I don't know what's happening here, but I will certainly take advantage of that. 2.25, 100%. Yes. What does Kike want to come back? 8.5. No. Verdugo and Walker, no. Assad wants a big league deal. Canario's ratings have dropped, although he's really bad now. Fujinama, I would like to offer him a minor league extension. What's 2.5? He's not, I don't know, his ratings have dropped. His stuff has dropped. He was a 55, 70, 40. I would love to keep him in the minor leagues with those ratings, but Braylon Marquez. I mean, see if he wants to come back. Nick Birdie. Yeah, none of these players I am all that concerned about. Yason Santana, no. Hunter Fiducia we picked up as a Rule 5 guy. All right. So, ARB numbers. Matt Brash wants $9.5 million. So let's just give him the 1-year deal at 9. Maybe 9-1. Cool. Shivili wants 3.4, so 3.2. Okay, 3.250. Save every penny you can with these contracts. Clark Schmitz wants $7 million. That's a lot of money invested in our bullpen. Let's go back and let's do some of this. So Bubba Thompson wants a long-term deal. I don't want to give you quite that much. many years does he have left? Oh, it tells you. Arb, Arb, Arb. He wants to buy out his last 3 seasons of Arb. What if we give you 5 and we do... He would take that. If he has another good season, his ARB number is going to be more than that. So I think we take that. 5 years, $63 million for Bubba Thompson. Yep. All right. Casey Schmidt wants 5. From 4748. I think I should know this, but does the fan interest change the longer a player's with the team? Like, if Casey Schmidt's with the team for a decade, will his fan interest improve? Shoemake wants... I mean, he's really good defensively, and we are going to need a backup infielder. We've got the money, so I think that's probably fair. 2-3. Romo, 100%. He wants 2.4. Mason Miller was in AAA all year. We can go ahead and withdraw from there. Arrigetti's numbers have dropped even further. Anybody interested in Spencer Arrigetti? Excuse me, at this point? Max Meyer. We've got the money. We could take him on. We could take on Bobby Witt Jr., who can't hit, apparently. Ooh. What do we have? What's our pitching staff going to look like next year? Shavili, Wisniewski, Abreu. I mean, we are absolutely stacked in the pen. So I don't know that adding a $9 million arm to our pen is the right move. Anybody in AAA who's ready to come up? I don't think so. No. I mean, I wouldn't mind Max Meyer. He's really good. Extreme ground ball pitcher. He's had 3 great seasons in a row. His ARB number's 15.9. I'm good. I am good with that. What about a prospect? Nobody wants to give up a prospect. It's just tough to look at some of the names and go, I don't want to give up a reliever for this player. Bobby Witt at $15 million in ARB. I don't know. I think we just... Yeah, he's a fly ball pitcher. He's pitched well the last 2 seasons, but the ratings to me just scream I'm going the wrong direction. So we're going to go ahead and take the contract away from Arrigetti. Hayden Wisniewski. Yeah, I mean, we're going to offer him a contract. He's been really valuable to us in the middle of our bullpen. Mitch White, he's still very popular, so I think we offer Mitch a contract. Even if he declines, it's only $2 million. And then the question is, what do we do with Clark Schmidt, who wants $7 million? He's put together 3 really good seasons in the middle of our bullpen. Because, I mean, that's a role that Shavili can fill next year. But Clark Schmidt with that, I think we're going to offer him an extension. I think we're going to offer it. Yeah, it's still going to leave us with $40 million or something like that come free agency. I'm good with that. So let's go ahead and sim ahead. Joey Gallo with another 50 home run season for Minnesota. All right, so it looks like we're going to get both our first base coach and our third base coach. Hopefully that helps the morale in our staff. Clark Schmidt fan reaction. We get a bump there. Nothing from Mitch White. That's a bit surprising. Hayden Wisniewski. The fans like that. They like Casey Schmidt. They like Bubba Thompson. They like Drew Romo. So we just got a bunch of fan interest bumps. Bumps us up to 84. We're up to $51 million. What's up in free agency? I mean, ew. Oh, that's current free agents. So it's really bad. Pitching ratings. I saw Sandy Alcantara. It's a name we could go after. He was a 20-game winner for the Tigers this past season. Corbin Burns is available. We could pick up Corbin Burns. That would be awesome. What about offensively? Grab ourselves a little TA7 to play second base. Now that we don't have Jazz Chisholm, we can pick up Brandon Lau. Lau might be the way to go. He's not as good defensively, but that bat is quality. All right, there's some names, and then we have international free agency as well that we don't know anything about yet. So we could make a splash on a pitcher. We can make a splash on a hitter and probably still have money left over when it's all said and done. Get fan interest up into that low to mid 90s, and then get a bump to our budget at the beginning of next season. So McKenzie, Vasquez, Pacheco, Noah Miller, Creedler, Correa, Kwan, Myers, Mason Auer are your Gold Gloves in the AL. Fried, Murphy, Gorman, Abrams, Arenado, Arroyo, Nootbaar, PCA, and Kepler in the National League. Ryan Abreu wins the reliever of the season, but Giovanni Moran wins it in the AL, and in the NL, it is Abreu winning the reliever of the year, and we just signed him to a long-term, cheap contract for 3 years, 2.3 or something like that. Jazz Chisholm. Here are your Golden Gloves, or Platinum Stick, I guess, in the American League. Rushman, Rafi Devers at first now. Jimenez, Franco, Ruscio, Klaas, Trout, Riley Green, and Shohei. And in the NL, it's Alvarez, Yanquiel Fernandez, Jazz Chisholm, Vargas, Lawler, Hassel, Michael Harris, Corbin Carroll, and Ronald Acuna at DH. So we have a couple of Platinum Stick winners and the reliever of the year, rookie of the year in the ALs, Dylan Cruz. In the NL, Adiel Amador. Colorado had 3 of the top 4 in the rookie of the year voting. Manager of the year in the AL, Steve Godin of the Rangers, and Lee Gronkowski, or Gronkowicz, excuse me, Lee Gronkowicz. I got football on the mind. Lee Gronkowicz wins it in the National League. AL Cy Young goes to Gavin Collier of Texas. And in the NL, it is Blake Snell, who's currently out with elbow surgery, but he finished his third. There's Abreu down towards the bottom. Yeah, I think we need a top of the rotation starter. We've got 5 pitchers who are all pretty good, but no top of the order guys. Clace wins the AL MVP, and in the NL, it goes to Jordan Lawler. Holy hell. 36 home runs, 139 RBIs for the 24-year-old shortstop. Wow. We didn't have anybody. Yeah, we had a team full of good players, but no superstars. I think we need to add a superstar or 2 to our roster here this year. At least that's the hope. Oops. Arbitration hearings. I don't think we have any ARB cases. Jazz files for free agency, so we will likely get a draft pick when he signs elsewhere. And here we go. Let's take a look at the internationals. A Closer who looks pretty good, but last thing we need is another bullpen arm. Weak year for internationals. That's fine. Pitcher-wise, there's Alcantara, Brandon Lau. All right, what do we have for money? $58 million. Okay. So, let's look at... We need a second baseman, right? That's for sure. Second baseman and an outfielder. I could always put Acuna out in left and then just get the best possible bat. But I like the idea of Lau at second, although he's not as good defensively. We could get Tim Anderson, put Tim Anderson at the top of the lineup, bat him second, the lefty, have him play second. But we're going to need a couple batters potentially. And then I would like to pick up a top of the rotation pitcher if we can. Bullpen's fine. Yeah. So let's look at 6 for 28 for Alcantara, 7 for 26 for Burns. That's a lot of money, but it's money we can spend. And if it's short term, I don't really care. So let's look at starters. You got, it's Burns, Alcantara, and then everybody else. Corbin hasn't been good in a couple of years. That being said, his ratings are better than Alcantara's. He's really good against righties, not as good against lefties. Burns, it's a year older. He wants 7 years. I have no interest in paying you that long. But I would do like 3 years at 30. No, that's 3. Still 3. Would you take 4 at 30? What do his ratings look like? Have they started to drop at all? His overall has, but everything else has stayed pretty much where it was. So would you take 4 years at $30 million? He would. Takes him till he's 35, because he just turned 32. Let's offer it. 4 years, $120 million for Corbin Burns. It's a lot of money, but that gives us our top of the rotation guy. Workhorse. Extremely popular, so we'll get a big fan interest bump. Strikes out a ton of batters. Yeah. All right. Let's look at batters now. So they got Lowe listed as a first baseman. Now, he also wants $27 million now. What does Anderson want? 26 with no compensation. Would you do 3 years at 25? Wants 4 years. What if we do 3 years and the first year is 30? And then that's 3. Another 0 on there. Second year is 30. That's more. What if we did 27.5? That's $275 million. I'm sure he would take that. 2750. And then 25 in the third year. He wants that fourth year. Has his ratings dropped? His overall has dropped. Overall contact just dipped from 80 to 70, or from 70 to 75 to 70. How do I feel about giving Tim Anderson 4 years at $26 million to have him play second base? Has he stayed healthy in this world? Relatively. Missed 30 games in 2024 and 2025. He's going to hit for a high average, going to hit a fair number of extra base hits, isn't going to hit for any power. It's a relatively empty batting average, but we need a second baseman. We need some additional offense in our lineup. And maybe Tim Anderson is that guy. So let's go 4 years, but I don't want to pay you as much. 4 years at 23. Three, 24, 24. Okay. 4 years, $94 million for Tim Anderson. So Tim Anderson, Corbin Burns on the first day of free agency. And then do we try to trade Cassie? I think so. And we continue to try to trade him, and it just doesn't work. But we got a couple of minor leaguers who are ready to come up and potentially be that outfield arm. Max Wagner looks okay. Really good against lefties, which is something that we need. That's not a bad option. Fleury. He's not bad. I like the first baseman. Get somebody to back up Bregman. Get Bregman out of there if he starts to struggle. Yeah, let's talk to Baltimore about Max Wagner. Okay, so they think our assistant GM doesn't think we're getting enough. So, what else do you have that you can give me? What do we don't really need anything. Wow, it's a lot of prospects. This guy wasn't bad. Amparo, would you give me him? Let's see. All right. Oh, gotta take Shoemake off the injured list. We don't have a player who will make that work. Okay, so we'll discuss it again. I'm actually fine making this deal as it is. 35 home runs in AAA, 33 home runs the year before that. He's only 25 years old. He has a bat, especially against lefties. I mean, those ratings against lefties are middle of the order type, and he can hit righties acceptable too. So we're just going to submit that offer. And now all of a sudden you want one of my best players. Like, that's weird. Like, don't tell me you'll trade him one up and then not do it. All right, let's offer him up again. I mean, he's a bat. We need a bat. We got Jacob Berry as well, but his ratings have dropped. What can we get for Berry? I was hoping maybe that he could end up as a 65, 70 contact and home run guy, and then those other ratings don't really matter, but doesn't look to be the case. I mean, a lot of names. How many of them are any good remains to be seen. Bring in Garrett Crochet. Let's look at batters. I'm not interested in relief pitchers. Sure. That looks better to me. Danny Corona. Yep. Submit. Man, I hope we can get Anderson and Burns without having to get, because if we end up having to get, we're gonna offer Juan Luna. You can have Juan Luna and Jacob Berry for Danny Corona. That's fine. I hope Corona AAA, because you don't really have money to spend here now, right? On to get into a bidding war on these guys. So our payroll looks like it's going to jump about $40 million next season. We will have some tough decisions to make. Like, do we want to pay Matt Brash 13? You know, is it time to move on from Chris Paddock? Ronald Acuna he's got a team option for $17 million. Maybe Zach Gallen opts out, and that frees up some money. But yeah, our payroll is going to jump over the next season, and that's fine. I mean, maybe we win this year, and it's not an issue. So looking to sign a couple of older players now to kind of add into our team, which isn't super young. It's young-ish. We have some players that are on the still on the right side of 30. I want to go to scouting, international, run practice. So we're still only league average average league interest on Dal Soglio, which is great. Let's get up to the winter meeting, see if we get an answer from Corbin and TA7. We sign Corbin Burns. We lose a third-round pick. I will take that. We add our ace, Corbin Burns. Welcome to the Chicago Cubs. And who does he replace? I mean, it also allows us to potentially move on from So next year because his ARB number dropped. It's down to 5. It was up to 10 last season. But Gallen, Burns, Brash, So, Contreras, and Paddock right now as our 6 starters. I just want to see. Okay, so we can potentially pick up Warming Bernabel from Colorado if we really wanted. Yeah, I mean, we could easily just walk away from Paddock's contract if we want to. So let's see what happens with Tim Anderson. And we'll go from there. Because if we get into a bidding war for Tim Anderson, we may have to free up some money elsewhere, and I don't want to do it in scouting and development. You know, now that we just bumped those numbers to 25 and 30 million. Yeah, this is what I was afraid of. Washington wants to offer him 27. If that doesn't work, maybe, I mean, the trade block hasn't had any really elite players on it. Not to mention the demand has been crazy. Like the demand for the players, you know, like the really good players, as it should be, right? The demand for the really good players is pretty high. Yeah, there's nobody there that's better than what we're looking at. So winter meetings start today. $3.5 million. Yeah, Fanich up to a 96 with that signing of Corbin Burns. That's pretty good. Do we want... Here's my fear. My fear is that we trade Chris Paddock, and then Gallen opts out next season, and then we're down 2 pitchers. Maybe we try to trade Gallen. And nobody wants him because he's a little bit older. Walk away from 10 million of it if we really wanted to, or we can walk away from all of Paddock. So do we have a 6th starter if we need one? That's, I guess, the other thing. We got Ben Brown. He's in the minors. I mean, we've got Foster Griffin. So we got a little bit of depth in the minor leagues. Ryan Jensen, I guess, is passable if necessary. Riley Thompson is passable if necessary. We got to put Mayer on the 40, man. Certainly don't want to lose him. Taylor looks like he's stagnated. The defense actually got worse as well. We've got at least 3 outfielders who are better defensively now than Will Taylor in the minor leagues. Ryder Green can mash. Contact's too low, but he can hit home runs when he makes contact. Colt Keith, no. Let's getting a scouting report on Lamar King Jr. I'm going to go back. I just wanted to see what else was here. Yeah, let's get a scouting report on Lamar King Jr. Let's go back now and let's do it the other way. Let's look at pitchers. Andrew Hoffman, ground ball pitcher. He could be a starter. He's 26. He could definitely be a starter. He's a starter in AAA for the Braves. I don't necessarily want to make the Braves better, though. Dax Fulton. Okay, now we're talking. Again, it's another reliever, but as a starter, he's probably 50, 60, 55, but with 2+ pitches and a changeup, he's a ground ball pitcher. He's got the stamina. Dax Fulton could work. Connor Cook. 2 really, really good pitches. But I like the profile of the other guy better. Oof. Wow. Look at those pitches. Holy. Let's go talk to Miami. Dax Fulton. What's his ARB number next season? 2.2. It's probably fine. You cannot endorse this proposal. Well, can we get anything else? I mean, I doubt it. Reyes Dean. No chance with that offer. All right. I don't know that we trade. I don't know that we have to trade him. Bouncing all over the place here, guys. Because I want to make sure we have money. I always like to make sure there's a little bit of money kind of sitting in the back pocket, right? But Paddock's ratings suggest he should be really, really good. So I think we just hold on for now. I mean, I guess ultimately if we traded Gallen and retained 50% of his contract, it's no different than what we would do if we gave up Paddock, right? I mean, we could do this. Let's see what they ask for. Ugh. I want to give Tim Anderson $30 million a year for 4 years. That is the $1 million question here. Let's do something like this. It at least buys us time until we figure out what's going to happen with Gallen. Where did that trade go? Why is it not showing up? It was Gallon. Let's try 35%, see if there's any interest. There isn't. What about 40? Sure. Cool. Ramiro Alvarado, you got it. Fans aren't. Oh, I guess the fans don't even care. Interesting. Okay. The fans don't even care. So have a 96 fan interest now. We've bumped ourselves back up to $15 million. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, we're going to pay out 8.5 for Gallon, 7.6, 7.6. If we had traded Paddock, we're actually saving less. Saving more. No, we're saving less. I don't know. I think I made the right move. I couldn't tell you, though. It's the Rule 5 here. Hopefully we get an answer on Tim Anderson, and then we can figure out what to do with the rest of our offseason. We lose Christian Walker. Fan interest drops a lot. Drops from 96 to 93. That you like to see. You love seeing $1.50 ticket increase, and then revenue per game goes up 18%. You know you made the right decision. There we go. We got him. All right, so it was a bit of an extent. Yeah, I mean, first year's not bad. I don't even mind the second year. This age 32 season is going to be rough, but we're paying for the front half of this contract. So the first 2 years is $52 million. Last 2 years is 60. I anticipate that long term we're not going to be thrilled with this contract, but for now, Tim Anderson becomes our starting second baseman. So let's go ahead and stick him up there. Let's switch his position from short to second. His ratings drop. That's fine. He can play short. That gives us an option if Dansby Swanson continues to get hurt. Fan interest now up to a 98. Let's get to the Rule 5. And we should see a bump to our budget once we get to the preseason, given how this offseason went. Those were two big names that we signed. All right, anybody we need to put on the 40-man? We have 4 spots available. Yep, Wilkin probably needs to go on the 40-man just because he was our first-round pick, and I would feel bad to lose him in the Rule 5. RJ, I would love to see that contact and home run power hit 50, man. Relievers I'm not too fussed about. Nobody. And Drew Gray. I know the game likes Drew Gray. Or at least it did last season. Maybe there's a team out there that really likes Drew Gray and will throw a player at me. Alex Vesia in his $12 million contract. No, thank you. Holman, no. 70 stuff. He's a fly ball pitcher. I don't like fly ball pitchers in Wrigley. How long have I been going for? Oh, we're already at an hour 15. It's going to be an hour and a half video, guys, at least. But that's fine. Gives you something to watch on, I believe this is going to come out on a Monday. So let's give you something to watch on Monday. Let's look at prospects. I mean, maybe we just hold on to him and put him on the 40-man and hope that he develops. That might be the play. Yep, that will be the play. Because he's somebody, like, if I was looking at the 40-man, if I was looking at the Rule 5, he's somebody I would consider taking if I was a struggling team. All right. Rule 5. I don't think we're going to take anybody, but I suppose it's a possibility. We'll see what is available for the Cubbies when the time comes. Yeah, nothing really there. What about pitchers? Jordan Hicks. Nope. Nothing this year, which is good. So we will just complete the draft. And I am going to now sim ahead to International Amateurs. And when we come back, we will finish up the episode. So I'll be right back. Okay, we're back for International Amateurs. Let's see how this goes. I mean, I think Del Soglio is the first. He wants 850,000. I think let's just offer that to him. And then the other one was the center fielder, right? Yeah, but we're only strong on him. But I think if we do this, we've got 2.8. So that's 4. Let's see if we can get those two players. Ooh. I don't know that we're going to be able to offer him anymore. Let's just see what happens with Del Soglio. All right. 900,000. Let's just offer him 2. Let's just see if we can get it done. That leaves us with 3 million. I want to wait and get this guy signed first, and then we can go back and Coronado wasn't the really good one. It was Melendez. The other one is this guy with the high work ethic. 240. Let's offer him $1 million. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. All right, 2.64. He didn't bump our financials. That's crazy. We're up to a 96 fan interest, and he didn't bump our financials. When is he going to die? How old is he? He's 63. Will you go away, please? Free agents, internationals. All right, so we signed Cornejo, $1 million. High work ethic. OSA doesn't like him as much, but we do. Come on, sign the contract. There we go. We got Dal Soglio as well. So get a couple of players. We have $100,000 left. I think we just sit on it. Cool. So that is going to be that, guys. I don't think I add anything else between here and the start of the season. Tim Anderson is our starting second baseman. That leaves us with a hole in the outfield, sort of. Not really, because Acuna can just shift over to left. That really leaves us with a DH. Cassie's weird. He's a left-handed hitter who's actually better against lefties. I mean, we could always just do something like this because Foscue can hit both sides. I mean, I'm okay with that. Not necessarily that lineup, but but that type of setup. And we still have plenty of money, so I can go in and always look and see what's available in free agency, and sign the best possible bat, and yeah. So I'm gonna. That's what we're gonna do here, guys. I'm going to call it an episode. When we come back, it'll be opening day, and we'll do opening day through June. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of my deals. I'm happy with the Burns signing. I think he's going to be okay. The ratings haven't started to dip as of yet. Tim Anderson, I think, is a little bit of an overpay. But they're both only 4 years, so they're not ridiculously long contracts. Let me know what you think of the deals we made. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Guys, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.